guys, we're back with the Fast of Daniel, and today is day 17, and we are with
Catherine.
Yes, and today we're going to be talking about her experience growing up in the church.
Yes.
How old were you when you got here?
Well, I've been in church since I was 2 years old. So
Nice.
basically my whole life.
And I want to ask, did you grow up without any problems?
Without any problems. Well, I wouldn't have the problems that like people, let's say outside will have, divorce or like
Suicidal stuff?
suicidal
Okay.
thoughts, problems like that, like extreme things, like drugs, alcohol. I never went through that because I always grew up in the church.
Right. But then, if you grew up in the church, what prevented you from receiving the Holy Spirit? Or did you see the importance of having it when you were, let's say, 10, 11, 12?
I mean, when you go to the church, it becomes sort of a routine. Like it's a routine to get up, to go Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays. It becomes a routine every single, it's like your body, even you would already wake up already to be at church and everything like that. So in a way, you just become a church goer, not a God seeker.
Right.
So it was like that.
And then what made you realize then that you needed God?
Well, the thing is that eventually God probably gives you a wake-up call, but you don't realize it. So God has to give you, I wouldn't say God, but, you get that wake-up call,
Yes.
So I reached a point in my life where things started to go wrong, like everything. My relationship with my mother was a mess. Like, we would fight, like, not just verbally fight, we would fight, yeah.
Oh.
So it was bad, and then that led, like, things started to go wrong. My grades never like dropped. Like, I was never a bad student,
Right.
but my grades did drop because I was like in honors, and then I just went to being average.
Right.
And then I got suspended, so things kind of went down that way, and things were just going wrong. Everything was going wrong for me, and it was upsetting because it was like everything I tried to do would fail. Everything. Like, I would try to do good, it didn't work. I would try to, like, I don't know, do good in school or try to do things the right way, and it was just like, nope. Like, it was like everything I touched went bad, or
Yeah.
everything I did, it was bad. I don't know, like that.
Yeah. The other thing, you mentioned that some of the bad examples that also kind of prevented you from receiving the Holy Spirit were found in the church. Because, fine, if we grew up in the church, we rarely have friends outside because we don't, only school friends, but at that age, they're kind of young. It's
Yeah.
not like we experience horrible stuff. But we do experience some kind of childish things.
Yeah, I think the thing is that we believe that believe in ourselves that everyone that goes to church, that they're good
Or perfect.
or perfect,
Yes.
or that they're holy, or that they don't make mistakes, they don't have sins. And I think that is the biggest problem, that we as Christians, we as people, we make that mistake. We are immediately judgmental, and even the outside world sees us like that.
Right.
Like, oh, we're perfect, we don't make mistakes, things like that. So in the church, you kind of grow up thinking like that. You become really you trust too much, and you don't learn that you can't just trust everyone or tell everyone your life. So for me, I experienced all the bad things in church. I knew what backstabbing was. I knew what it was for people to, like, ruin your reputation. I learned all the bad things that you could possibly think of. The things that other youths would do that would shock me, because I never, like, learned, because I grew up in a Christian home, and my parents were an example to me, of people that did their faith, and they would sacrifice and everything. They would do everything. So it wasn't like I had a bad example at home. Like, my first curse word I learned at 12 years old, and it wasn't at home. My parents didn't do that. So I had a good example at home. But it was in the church where I learned everything bad. I learned what it was for people to betray you. And I didn't learn that in school.
The only thing is that since we learn it in church, we think that the whole entire community is like that. But in reality, it's just the people that don't have the Holy Spirit.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
Because they don't have the Holy Spirit, so they're not guided by God. And if they don't have someone to respect, Because when you have the Holy Spirit, you have that respect inside of you. It's not that you fear that God's going to come down and punish you. No, it's just you learn how to respect God and the person next to you. So you treat them how you want to be treated.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to me. I would think that everyone in the church was that way. I would think that everyone in the church, they were like that. And that was bad on my part because I would separate myself. I would, like, okay, like back myself. And it's like, how can I say, like, the world offers you something completely different.
Yeah.
So if, like, in the church you found disloyalty, backstabbing, betrayal, the world offers you loyalty, friends, all the good stuff. The world is going to offer it to you. So you leave the church because you already start to see the church with bad eyes.
Yeah, because the devil takes advantage of that. He knows what your weakness is. He knows what you want. So he's going to go over there and give you what you want, or at least display it to you and be like, hey, look at the difference. This is what I can offer you. And if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you end up being blind to all the good examples that are in church. Because you know how many people exist in church? You know how many awesome, amazing examples are there? People that actually sacrifice, that they have the Holy Spirit, and they do everything to give a good example. But for people like us, maybe at that time, we didn't look at that. We didn't see that.
Yeah, like we would just see, like, I mean, for example, here we have like 700 people.
Yes.
You can't think that out of 700 people, everyone is bad, you know?
Exactly.
But like, that saying, like, one bad apple spoils
Yeah.
the rest. So I just happened to encounter that one bad apple, and I would just be like, no, everyone's like that, and this and that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when the Holy Spirit helps you, because once you have Him, you know that you're not guided by other people. You learn to follow Jesus and be an amazing example. Like, how was your encounter, and how does the Holy Spirit use you today?
Okay, so when everything like went that bad in my life, I remember that I made a decision, and I think that's the first step. You have to make a decision to change, because honestly, no one is gonna like open your brain and take out all the bad stuff and put the Holy
Right.
Spirit inside you or inside your heart. It doesn't work that way. You make a decision, just like you make the decision to sin. You also make the decision to stop sinning.
Right.
So that, to me, that was my first step. I made a decision to like leave everything and follow God, because I realized that with God things will be okay. So then after that, I think decision and then sincerity.
Right.
You have to be sincere with yourself, with God, and your prayer has to be sincere, because there's no point of you, like, I don't know, saying Psalms 23 or
Right.
all the beautiful prayers you could possibly think of if it doesn't work that way. Like, if you could say beautiful words and it's not gonna work, and you could say, you know what, God, I need you to mold me, and then
Yeah.
that's it. That would work. So that worked for me. And I remember, like, I did the fast of Daniel, the first one that ever existed, and I took that decision. I remember the first week I like screwed up completely. Like, I would go on Facebook, anything, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna do this right, because I know that I really need it to change my life. I need the Holy Spirit to change, to give me peace, to give me joy, for me to, to be better.
Things Facebook, Instagram, music, nothing in this world could ever give you.
Yeah, like Facebook, honestly, to me, it's like a time consumer. You waste so much time on it. And during the fast, you realize that you could do so many things without social media. Like, things that you don't normally do. So you get to clean, you get to spend. I love the fast because I get to spend so much time with my family.
That's nice.
Like, we just talk. And that to me is amazing. Because normally when everyone gets home, phone, TV, I go on the computer and
Yeah.
it's good like that. But during the fast, we get to convivir.
Yeah, know
Like
each other.
yeah, como una familia. So that to me is awesome. So then I remember that I was doing the fast and I took it serious, and we had a vigil, right? And it was a vigil to receive the Holy Spirit. And I remember that my dad told us to go, but then he didn't go, and I was kind of upset, but I was like, okay. And I went with my mother, and in that moment I was sincere with God. And I've always been sincere with God. Like, when things were going wrong, I'm like, God, why are you like this, like that, right? So when things go right, you also have to, like, thank God. So, and I remember in that moment, I was sincere to God and to myself. And I was like, look, God, my life is a hot mess. My life is bad. And the truth is, I need you to mold me. I need you to fix me because I am destroyed. I'm like glass, shattered. So, and I remember that I cried like that vigil. And I didn't leave there the same way. And I left with that assurance that you have the Holy Spirit. You just have it in you, like that glow, that thing, you know. And after that, it's been downhill. Well, uphill, yeah, because you're going up. But it's been like a smooth ride. Of course, there's bumps in the
Right.
road, but
that's why we have the Holy Spirit to overcome those bumps because
Right.
life is not going to be easy.
yeah, and like you could, like I don't know, like if you compare a dirt road to a city road, kind of like that. Like
Right.
your life is like that dirt road, like you're like bum, 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 the whole time, right? But then when you kind of give your life to God, you have that city ride, like it's smooth. But of course, there's potholes because of
Right.
the snow, which is
Yeah.
like kind of problems that come. Because it's not like we don't have problems. We have problems, but you just you're just able to trust in God that everything's going to be okay.
Right.
And having that
Assurance.
insurance is good. Like things could be going wrong, and you're just like, it's gonna be okay, you know.
Right.
And that satisfaction, is something that nothing else could give you.
Exactly. And now that you have it, how do you give a good example of who you are?
Well, a good example of I am. Well, I think is who I am. I'm like transparent, you know? Like the same person you get at home, you're gonna get in school, you're gonna get in church. You know, I don't try to pretend to be like someone or no, I'm myself, you know? And it's you in a way, a lot of people they hide behind a disguise, you know? So I think the best example that I have given to people is basically knowing that church or being a youth that's a Christian isn't boring. I think that for me because I'm a person that I like to make people laugh all the time. If you hang out with me, even if it's 5 minutes, you're gonna get a laugh out of it for sure. So it's like that. It's not like how can I say it? Oh my gosh, no, you can't do this because it's against the word of God. Like you know,
Right.
like
We're not religious.
Yeah, we're not religious.
We learn how to think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, logic. Logic
Yes.
is the most important thing. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't go out, I can't go to eat because you know, it's
Yes,
you just become like nonchalant. Like
You're free
Yeah,
in a
you're
certain
free.
sense.
Yes, basically. So and I'm kind of like free spirited, but not like wild. Like you know.
Well, wild in our own way.
Yeah, in our
because
own way.
Who's to decide what is wild?
Yeah. So like, and I think that's the best example that you don't have to be religious or fanatic. And you could be happy
Real.
and real, exactly, transparent.
Okay. Well, thanks, Catherine, for being
Okay.
with us. By the way, what are you studying and what are you doing in life now?
Okay, so I am currently in my sophomore year of college. I am studying aircraft operations, which
Future pilot.
future pilot. Yeah, and hopefully next semester I'll be doing a minor in air traffic control. So in that industry.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go, you guys. So here's another example of how having the Holy Spirit helps you, how it can change your life, truly change your life. And it's such a relief when you don't have to pretend anymore. So if you're another youth that has been growing up in the church and you're still doubting whether you should give your life or not, you're still hearing maybe the pastor or your parents say, give your life to God, and you're just like, no, why do I need it? But we're youth,
Yeah.
right?
And
We're
we
not
serve
missing out
God.
on anything.
We don't because how can I say like drugs, alcohol, that's kind of temporary, you know, you just have fun for a little while. But with the Holy Spirit, you have fun all the day, like 24/7. Like people, like you're high on Jesus basically. Like you're just always happy. Like I'm
Pretty
always
much.
happy. Like it could be going, I could have a bad hair day and I'ma still smile and
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
It doesn't
you
matter.
know? Yeah,
But that's Jesus.
that's Jesus.
So you guys don't give up. If you have been doing the fast, and like she mentioned, the first week was really tough for her, but you have to make up your mind. What do you want? Do you really want the Holy Spirit inside of you? Because if you want to sacrifice, you're going to have to sacrifice from here for the rest of your life. Because even though we're free to do whatever we want, we know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And my main goal is to respect God in everything. And if I have to respect Him for 21 days and not go on these accounts or not do whatever I'd like to do, I will do it. because I know that in the long run, it will be so amazing and I will be rewarded by Him. So, guys, don't give up. Be strong. Learn to say no to the negative stuff and learn to give yourselves entirely to God, to truly sacrifice. So, if you did mess up in the first week or 2 weeks, I guess, just
Don't
end
give
it.
up.
Well, end that fast.
Yeah,
Let's
end
start a whole
that
new one
fast.
because there's no point in continuing something that's broken.
Yeah.
Completely start over, even if you do it for 5 days or a week. If you want, even though we officially finish the task or the fast,
The fast.
you continue. Do your own thing. You don't have to go by our faith.
Right.
This is something that,
It's individual in a way. Like the purpose helps you because it's like a push, to
Right.
get you started. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you. You decide what you want to do. Just like you decide to do the things of this world, you also decide to leave the things of this world. And that's the most important thing that God gave us. We have the control. You decide to take control of your life or to continue the things of this world controlling you.
exactly. And it's all in your hands. So, you guys, start a new fast if necessary, but do not give up. And you will receive the Holy Spirit. You must believe above everything else. Okay? So, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Catherine, again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
See you.
See you guys.